Hi guys, this is Catherine. I wanted to come on here really quickly to talk through my ideas for 2022 in terms of planning. Um, it might seem a little crazy for those of you who are not so deeply into the planner world that I am talking about my 2022 plans in July, end of July. But if you are in deeply in the planner world, you know that a lot of the brands actually start releasing their new products in September. So I just wanted to kind of think about what I want to do in 2022 so I can stop myself from going totally crazy. And I think I definitely have a much more concrete idea of what I want to do for next year. So I'll be talking through that in this video with you guys. Before we get started, I would like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video again. For those of you who might not have heard of Skillshare, Skillshare is an online learning community offering thousands of classes on various topics ranging from creative classes such as creative writing, photography, illustration, to business classes for marketing, leadership, and management. I'm extremely grateful for Skillshare for making all of this content available and easy to access. I would like to share 2 classes that I will be starting very soon with you guys. You guys know I have been reading quite a lot this year. I have just finished my 30th book this year, and doing all of this reading is really making me want to start writing something of my own. So I've been very interested in taking some writing classes on Skillshare. The first class is Writing for Self-Discovery, 6 Journaling Prompts for Gratitude and Growth by Yasmin Cheyenne. And the second one is Creative Nonfiction, Write Truth with Style by Susan Orlean. I love that I can always find a class on Skillshare for whatever I happen to be curious about at the Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, so that means you will not have to sit through ads, so you can actually focus on learning wherever your heart takes you. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So let's get started. This is my Hobonichi cousin housed in the Giglio Firenze zip appunto in A5 size, of course, because Hobonichi cousin is A5 sized. So I don't have anything in the front except for just some stickers. This is my Hobonichi cousin. This is the Japanese version. I think they have a Chinese version as well. So I have already done a mid-year review of my entire planner system, and I also have a detailed flip of my Hobonichi cousin up until end of June for this year on my channel. So if you're interested, please go check those out. I won't be talking too much in detail of how I'm using my Hobonichi cousin, except for those parts that will be relevant in terms of discussing my plans for next year. So this month has been a crazy busy month so far because I had a sale for July 4th and I also launched new products a week before the 1st for the July collection. So I had a much shorter time to design the August collection, and I guess I just worked really well under pressure because I absolutely love my August collection. By the time you guys watch this video, the August collection will be up on the website already, but I'm so happy with the August collection. It's so different from what I had planned for the month, but I'm so happy with how it came out. It was a complete surprise. I'm really happy with the theme. For those of you who don't know, I do all the drawings myself and create all the products myself as well. So it's just, the whole process is really fun, and sometimes ideas just come out of nowhere. So that was really nice that I was able to come up with something that I could be proud of, even though I had much shorter time to work with. But in terms of planner, you can see it's really empty because I just had 0 time to work on this. Because I was so busy this month, I felt like I was able to form a more clear idea of what I want my system to look like for 2022. So you guys know that at the beginning of this year, I did start out with a lot of different like notebooks, journals, and planners and all of that. And of course, I had my Hobonichi cousin, and my Hobonichi cousin was always going to be the main planner. And as the year went by, I have started to consolidate a few of those things into my cousin, and I'm really happy about that. So when I started out with all the different planners at the beginning of this year, what I wanted to do was to kind of experiment and really kind of hone down on what works for me. And by this point, I think I do have a much better idea of what works better for me. So let's talk about that. in terms of the monthly page, everything works perfectly. This is my, the place where I pre-plan for the month, so that's going to stay the same. And weekly section, I just use as my to-do list, which is completely fine. And then I have my daily pages. So this month, I think I was kind of romanticizing the idea of a commonplace book, and that's sort of how I've been using my daily pages anyway. It's just a place to kind of write down miscellaneous notes, ideas. But starting from July, I think because I was so overwhelmed with everything that was going on, both in terms of work and also personal life, I felt like there was traffic jam in my brain or something. I just had trouble like thinking. So what I started doing this month was really kind of just, it doesn't matter what I'm writing down, I just write down whatever is in my brain at the moment. So it's sort of like stream of consciousness type of writing, and sometimes that it will be partially journal, just because that's something that's stuck in my head. And then I'll be writing 2 sentences about something that happened today, the day of writing, and then I'll all of a sudden start talking about some ideas for the month's collection, or maybe I had some ideas for future collections, then I'll be writing those down as well. And then all of a sudden I'll be thinking about lunch, then I'll probably write that down too. But I am writing in script, so it's really, really fast, and that's the reason why I changed over to writing in script compared to just my normal handwriting, which is more like in all caps, which takes much longer to write. So I just start writing whatever that comes into mind. And because of that, I've realized that I just want to have everything in one place, even if it's going to be messy. So right now, in terms of planner, everything is in one place because this is where I have my schedule, my to-dos, and my brain dump. Everything is in one place. But I'm talking about the other stuff like journals and reading journal and such. So I am right now using a Hobonichi Weeks just as a place to kind of be sketchy and not feel any pressure. So that's how I'm using my Hobonichi Weeks. And I also have a reading journal. So this is the place where I track my reading, and then I had a really fun place to kind of put down my the cover art for the books that I have read so far this year, and these are stuck on the 2022 section, so the next year's portion of the monthly spread. So they give you 3 months worth of monthly spreads for the following year. So that's what I've been using. And before that, I wanted to do this like kind of fun calligraphy, learn new vocabulary project in my monthly section, but I didn't really keep up with that because I just got like too much was happening this year. It just kind of got out of hand. So in the yearly section, I was tracking my reading, which I still am tracking. I kind of had a reading slump here because of just like personal things happening, but I picked it up again in May, and I started tracking my reading again. So that's really fun. This is all really fun. So I still want to keep on doing this, but what I'm saying is that I just want to kind of combine this with my Hobonichi cousin, because during the day, as I'm writing just things that come into my head, a lot of times something that I'm reading will be in mind quite a lot. So I want to write down things regarding my reading as well in the same place. And when that happens, I don't know, it's just really annoying to have to kind of stop writing whatever you're writing and take this out and write in this. Then it kind of interrupts my flow of thought, if that makes sense. Because the whole point of doing this is so that I can kind of declutter my brain so that I can work better. And for me to fish out ideas, that's more important. So I want to just continue writing everything in here. And I think it would be also really nice to be able to go back to this and kind of see exactly what was in my head. I think that would be something really cool for the future me to read. So because of that, I think for 2022, I want to just combine everything together in one place. So I'm not really sure if I want to purchase another Hobonichi Weeks next year anyway, even though I'm combining everything in one notebook, because it is still really, really nice to have something more compact with me. And it's just been really comforting to have this around. So I might end up just going with an A5 Hobonichi Cousin and either a regular or mega Hobonichi Weeks for next year. And so in terms of how I'm going to be combining my reading journal into my Hobonichi Cousin, I will talk through that a little bit. So I have been using, okay, let's go to the front. Okay, so I have been using this section to track my goals, and I do find that sometimes I have some extra space. So for the reading tracker, I will just be doing that here along with all of the other things that I'm tracking. And I think there will be enough space to write something down here. And most of the time I'm just kind of writing down the initials of the books that I'm reading, and then I'll write down like the page number that I'm at for each day. That's like ideally what I want to do, but sometimes I get too tired and I don't get to do it. But if it's all in one book, I think it will be much easier to do that. So I'll be taking care of that in the yearly section. And then in terms of the notebook covers, I mean, not notebook covers, but the book covers of the books that I read throughout the year, I'm going to be doing that in my monthly section. So I just have some stuff that I need to kind of cover up. But so Hobonichi gives you 3 extra months in the Hobonichi Cousin as well. So I'll be just doing the cover art here, which is perfect because I didn't really have a plan for this section anyway. So I'll be doing that in here, and this is plenty of space. And I might be able to even like do star rating on top, so that'll be really fun. And I will be using, there is a section at the end where you can write down like the top 100. So on that page, I'm just going to write down like the books that I have been, so hold on. Let me see if I can find it, just for those of you who might not know what I'm talking about. So Hobonichi gives you this section where you can write down 100. So I barely even use this, but I'm going to be using this section in the Hobonichi Cousin to write down the books I've read throughout the year. I was doing that in the 2022 section right here. So that's where I was tracking it, and that was corresponding with this page because these are both for 2022. So number 1 will be this one, number 2 will be that one, and I think that would be nice to have at the end of the Hobonichi Cousin. So that's my plan so far. In terms of my journal, a personal journal, I will be just writing it out throughout the day if something happens to come into my head, but I'll probably like expand on that if I ever feel like it in my journal over here. This is just like a blank notebook that I've been journaling in, so I don't really feel pressure to be writing in it all the time because it's not dated, so it really doesn't bother me if it takes me 10 years to finish this notebook. It's totally fine. In terms of my ring binders, they're going to stay exactly the same. I will be doing a video on those, so please stay tuned. So yeah, that's it for me, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are for 2022. And if you like this video, please click like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye!